absolutely. It's amazing. All right, well, thank you everyone from joining. I am Ritu from Adventurize, and my co-founder Nimi is on the chat as well. We run the Adventurize, which is a community-centered learning and development platform for freelancers and solopreneurs. And this is the Venturing Beyond 9 to 5 series that we have been doing for the past few months. And thank you so much for joining again in this season of this podcast. If you aren't aware of this already, we will be sharing with you our conversations with experienced freelancers and solopreneurs, particularly in the marketing space. And like I said, Adventurize is a platform for freelancers. And if you would like to join our community, you can apply to join through the link that Nimi would be sharing in the chat as well. And before we dive straight into the session, I really want to quickly make an announcement about something really exciting that we are kind of come up with. We'll be launching our first freelance fellowship mentoring program for beginner freelancers. So if you're someone who's sort of thinking about starting freelancing, but you're feeling lost and confused and don't really know how to go ahead with it, or just overwhelmed with all the options that are available out there, this cohort program is exactly for you. What we would not be doing as a part of this cohort program would be a passive sort of a learning through a webinar, except like what we are focusing on is very, very tangible and practical learning, and the kind of learning that you can implement as you go through the cohort. So it's going to be divided into 4 different weeks. We will be going through topics like niching down, finding your proposition against your competitors. We'd be helping you figure out your pricing strategy. You'd be also able to create your mock portfolio if you don't have one already, or if you already have one, really being able to present your portfolio in the best manner possible. And then ultimately really figuring out how to find clients and really pitching them. So at the end of the 4 weeks, our goal is to get you completely ready to go out there and find clients. And you'd also have mentors like Punita Parekh, Unnati Bagga, Sakshi Shukla, and Dhairya Gangwani, who have been in the freelancing game for quite a bit. So if you're interested in joining, Nimi would be sharing the link to apply in the chat. Note that there are only limited seats available for this cohort, since it's going to be our like pilot program. We want to keep it small, focused, and really focus on the outcomes and really get people in who are genuinely interested in pursuing freelancing and taking their career ahead in freelancing particularly. So if you're interested, join through the link in the chat. Of course, we would be vetting the applications and we'll be getting back to you after you apply. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM Nimi or me directly, or put it in the chat and we'll get to those. And now let's dive into the session. Today, I'm very excited to have Puja Das with us. And Puja, just to give you a little bit of introduction of hers, she is a freelance writer for almost 2 years now. She has had articles that have been published on Thrive Global, Womensweb, and so much more. Some of her articles have been some of the best ranked articles on Google as well. So she knows her SEO. And she has also been actively creating content on LinkedIn, as some of you might already know. She's got over 30,000 plus followers on LinkedIn, which is amazing. So welcome, Puja. It's really good to have you
Thank
here.
You. Yeah, I'm super excited for this session. I mean, totally, because the way, first of all, congratulations, for the cohort, and also all the very best from my side. And totally looking forward to this. And I hope that we have such conversation which can be helpful to the beginners. Yeah, totally excited.
Yeah. Awesome, love that. So before we get into it, I want to ask you like a quick icebreaker question. So if you had 1 extra hour in your day, every day, what is it that you do with it?
Okay, 1 extra hour, right? So without a doubt, I would be dancing if I have 1 extra hour, because dancing is one of the passions. I'm very passionate since my childhood for dancing, but due to financial reasons and everything, I couldn't pursue it, and had to be there. But now I feel is this we should all have some passions, or maybe one passion which should not be monetized, and you can actually distress, because there is this very much trend of turning passion into profession. But I feel at the same time we should have something that you can fall back to and de-stress after very hectic day and something like that. That something is dancing for me. So I do find out time to continue that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And I really relate to that. Like when I wrote that question down, I was thinking for myself. And my first response was maybe I'll create more content, just so that, I'm doing something on the side. And then I'm like, no, maybe we should have something that's outside of work and like, does it
Yeah,
really measured by
exactly.
outcomes? So no, I
Yeah,
love that answer. So,
thank you.
yeah, my next question too is like, as everyone knows, this session is on basics of freelancing, right? So if you had to explain freelancing to someone who's absolutely new to the field, in a very, very simple terms, how would you explain it?
Okay, freelancing is okay. Even if you go and Google, it is self-employed, right? You.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to do everything by yourself. All right. It is
Yeah.
a life-changing opportunity. At the same time, it will test you time and again. So I'm just gonna go by. You have to do your like, for example, you have to find your clients yourself. Of course, you are your own boss, but at the same time, you're
Yeah.
working with maybe 5 to 6 or 7. Depends on your capabilities, right, or
Yeah.
capacity. So clients, you are answerable to so many of clients. If you're working with, for example, if you're at the same time, if you're working with 4 clients, you are answerable to 4 clients, right? You have to be very disciplined. Without discipline, you can't do anything. You don't have a boss. You are self-employed, right? You are your own boss, but at the same time, you are answerable, right? So you
Exactly.
have to be very disciplined, and you have to do everything by yourself. You have to know lead generation, marketing. I think marketing is something that should not be a part of your it should be a part of your strategy any day. That's what I vouch for. We might have some different in opinion. Apart from that, all I will say is this: you are your own boss, but again, you are answering to multiple, as a multiple
Yeah.
boss, right? Multiple people, your clients. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing everything by yourself. And for example, the service that you're providing, you have to be. You can't. There are deadlines, right? And what happens if you're missing a deadline? Okay, I'll just say you can miss 1 or 2 deadlines for some urgent reasons, but once
Hmm.
you miss one deadline or 2 deadlines, and if you repeat such things, you're creating an image which is not supposed to be good for you in the long run. So you
Yeah.
have to do everything. That's what, all by yourself, right? And as you
100%
grow, you'll be
agree.
building a dream team, of course, but in
Yeah.
the beginning, it's you, only you.
Yeah. No, that's a really good way to put it. Like
Mm,
you are responsible for everything, and it's also
everything.
that you have to keep yourself on top of your game. No one's going to come remind you of deadlines, no one's going to tell you to go look for more clients, no one's going to come tell
Yeah,
you to really have that pipeline of work coming in. So the planning ahead of time is also something that you have to be very, very
very
disciplined about.
important.
Yeah.
Matlab, what happens, no, to strike that balance, to want for more, because we humans, we have this tendency to go for more, right? Freelancing has this opportunity that can unlimited opportunities, right? So you have to strike the balance, how much you want to do, matlab, not at the cost of your health or not at the cost of anything. Like
Right.
there has to be balance. So yeah,
Yeah.
it sometimes it gets to you, but at the end, it's a learning process. Nobody will be perfect in the beginning. To take
Right.
more than 6 months or so to get settled as a freelancer, life will
Right.
change like this. Pura complete. Yeah. Basically, it's a self-employment, right? Even if I
Yeah.
have to just say that you are your own boss, nobody. But again, that's it. Pros and cons comes
Yeah.
with it, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Being self-employed, like, and having just multiple different employers in a way that you're not committed to on a full-time capacity, but small different projects with multiple different kind of employers at any given point of time. So yeah, that's a good explanation. If there was something that you wish you had known when you had started freelancing, what would it be?
Started freelancing, I actually knew, honestly, but I did not know. For example, when I started, I did not know freelancing. Matlab, I did not have the mindset of a business person, So
Hmm.
I was this new person, very happily starting freelancing, sabke liye, very emotional. So I used to mix emotion with my work. That is something I right now suggest everyone, see it as a business. Do not mix emotions. So it used to be so much that I mixed my emotions so much that it led to me thinking that this field is not for me, maybe. But I used to, this is an advice. Everyone from my family is into business. So I know this already, that business should not be mixed with emotions, they should be kept separate. But somehow I thought I did not have the mindset. Okay. So it's very important to build a, I know, of course, you will learn in the process, but starting with a very rock solid mindset and with a clear vision is very important, So do not ever mix emotions. You can be the best person, very sweet, very humble. But when it comes to your work, you have to firmly define the line, firmly draw the line. Yeah.
Makes sense. So if you had to, think about the time when you had gotten started with freelancing, what was your impression like about freelancing, and where is it that you probably got it wrong?
Got it wrong, did you say?
Yeah. Like, what was your initial impression of it?
Yeah. Initial impression, see, I am an introvert. Not many people believe it, but I am. No matter how active I am on all the social media platforms, this and that, but I am a big introvert. So for me, it was like, wow, I can work from my room and I can be paid for that. I don't have to interact with humans, I mean, one-on-one interactions, physically be present there, go anywhere, and then I started to think, wow, I can go anywhere and I can work this and that. But okay, that happiness was short-lived, because the challenges were like saying bye, hi to me, in the background. Okay, welcome to the this new world. But yeah, for me, I would say that where it went wrong, maybe no, I would say that somewhere, not exactly as I said, I mixed emotions, right? So it's in my personality. So it went wrong because I used to be very bad at talking about money. Okay, I don't know. I know I have done the work. I deserve the money, but I'll be very panicking. I don't know why. That give me my money. I would panic and I would be very nervous talking about it, or shy talking about it. So my negotiation skill was very bad, very bad. So this is where I thought, okay, now what I'm gonna do. And there came a point when I was working with a client, and for a long time, and I had to increase my rates. I thought for like, I don't know, a couple of days to even go ahead and take the step, right? Because again, talking about money, it used to bother me a lot. This is where then again, what happened, that client came, some people don't realize it's not just about client. Some people don't realize that there is a, sometimes we have, it's not your place to comment, right? So what happened is this: with one of my client, I just said, I used to undercharge a lot, like undercharge like anything. Okay, so what happened, I slowly started to realize that nahi, I'm undercharging and I have to go ahead and talk, right? So when I proposed it, and I expressed ki aisa aisa hai, can we do something like this? The first reply was this ki, Puja, you should not be money minded. Okay, you see, I have this problem of talking about money, and somebody telling me that, I felt bad. Okay, and for some time I was taken aback by that statement, and for some time I just thought, ki, wow, this person did not appreciate me when I went to the extra mile, right? I went extra mile for that person, not once, not twice, like many times, but I did not receive a single appreciation. But the moment I said that I wanna talk about the current prices, I feel it's a little very undercharged, right? So this was the statement I received. So these are the moments when was very defining moment for me as a freelancer. I would not say these were the moments when it may bro. Yeah, of course it did, because I take everything personally. That point, that freelancer, 2 years back, Puja used to take everything very personally, very emotionally. Now I don't. I keep my business and my work separate. It's my money. I'm gonna talk about it, and I do not. The mindset has completely changed. So yeah, those are the points when
Makes sense. You mentioned like undercharging, right? So that's something that a lot of people also struggle with in terms of just figuring out how to price your services. And that is very tricky because, if you just say something as simple as blog letter writing, even in that, there's people charging hundreds of dollars, there's people charging, thousands of rupees. There's quite a range. So it's kind of hard to figure out. So did you look into any particular resources or did you research anything? And if you do that right now, how do you really get that data point to really figure out where you are? Yeah.
That's a very awesome question, because honestly, I with so much happiness, I say I learned it myself. Okay, not just entirely, of course, I did look for it, but when I started as a freelancer, I was not on LinkedIn to reach out to people to know, right? I just had this very generic content to look for, like where it was for everyone at every like it was not segregated, it was not totally niched down to writing. There are, of course, but I knew that this is not something. For example, there is this thing you would find it so much content around it. We shouldn't work for free, or we shouldn't work very less. Like for example, I started the lowest work I have done was for 35 paisa per word. Okay, I started 50 paisa per word. Okay, then also I went to that range because I wanted that project, I wanted that experience. Okay, so there were advices many places that we shouldn't do this work, that work. I knew I have to figure it out myself, what works for me, what does not work for me. So I worked from very low from that stage, but I knew I'm not going to stay there. I'm not going to stay there for sure. So yeah, with time I'm going to be increasing, but for that I have to have supporting, for example, my portfolio has to be good, right? When I'm saying that I want to charge this much, right? One, I have to be confident I can deliver that result, right? Not super confident, but some confidence has to be there. And where that confidence is going to come from, right? By working real, right? You can create as many mock samples as you want, or for example, even I suggest go write a blog, publish it, but working with a real client is a very different ballgame altogether, right? So that experience will teach me a lot, and that experience is going to give me the confidence to charge the amount that I want to charge, right? And secondly, to support my statements and the promises that I'm making to my client, right? That for that client also, I am just somebody in the internet world. He also does not know me that much as apart from the, for example, my LinkedIn that time or something like that. So he to win my client's trust. So portfolio is very important. So my two-step was this, that I have to build my confidence. Second, I have to have proof of work. Okay, for that I did not think much about money at that time. Okay, for example, if somebody is starting today and that person has a kick-ass portfolio, or some very confident and know that I can deliver the result, go ahead, charge as much as you want. Okay, see, it my way, your way can be different, but there is this learning that in the process, no matter how many people you follow, no matter how many people tells you this and that, but you have to figure it out. So I did it myself completely. So at the beginning I used to charge by paisa powered basis, and it is disaster, I'm telling you, because there came a point I was like, also I used to write articles also. I used to write product descriptions also. So when I'm writing articles, so I'm writing like 2000, 1000, 1500, right? And when I'm doing product description, there is this 200 maybe words or 150 words. And I was like, what I'm going to charge for this, right? So yeah, I had no idea. Then Dheere said slowly for website content also, I slowly started to shift to project basis, even for blogs as well and everything, by framing it into one service and one project, like whatever you need, maybe in a retainer basis or a project basis, we can do that. So yeah, I started from paisa per word, powered basis. Then I shifted to project basis. Project basis works for me very well now. Even till now, I do this project basis.
Right. Yeah, that's what they recommend, is like the ideal way to go anyway. You kind of charge for the impact you're creating, which is based on the particular kind of projects you do, and not because then you can't really quantify how you're adding value based on the number of words. Even a short article can be much more impactful than a really long one. So yeah, that's a great insight. And a little bit earlier, you also mentioned something about having to do too many things as a freelancer. There's no one job. So if you had to list down the kind of responsibilities that come with being a freelancer that are outside your main job. So outside of writing, what is it that you do?
Oh my God, so many things. For example, for my lead generation, I depend completely on LinkedIn, right? Of course, I have started on Twitter, but the end goal is totally different. So I have to be
Just
apart
sorry to
from
interrupt. Quick question: can you, while you're talking about lead generation, it would be helpful if you can, talk about inbound versus outbound as well. I think that will flow in well.
yeah
Yeah.
right now, right? Yeah.
Mm.
So of course, inbound is what they are, your prospects are coming to you, and outbound is you are reaching to them. Okay, that's it in the most simplest term, right? So what happens, for example, inbound, how it works for me, I publish content, and on LinkedIn, right? So people can, one way they find me by searching content writers, right? So if you go to LinkedIn, and people who use LinkedIn know this, that there's a search, how many times you have been searched in a month, they show the statistics. So it's a very important metric, I'm telling you. More than likes, comments, followers, and everything, this is my goal for me, more important for me. So from there, one, right? And then they can even find you anywhere, by from my comments, from my post. Yeah, secondly, of course, by post they can discover me. So that's how it happens, they reach to me. When I started, I had no idea कि ऐसा भी होता है कि लोग मेरे पास आएंगे and बोलेंगे हमारे लिए लिखो, right? Because I actually started, many people don't know that I have tried Upwork, I have tried freelancer.com also, where कुछ नहीं हुआ, because I don't know, I couldn't. Okay, but I don't say कि वहां से मत करो ही करके, because I am a believer of the fact कि तुम्हारे लिए काम हो सकता, वो काम कर सकता है, right? And that comes to when you are going for outbound, right? You are searching for work. So I'll just say this कि अगर inbound है तो, if you are starting today, create a LinkedIn profile or Twitter, anything, okay? But my suggestion would be to go with either LinkedIn, either Twitter, right? First, one social media. I would not say कि दो तीन एक साथ करो. Depends on you. So update the profile, update the keywords, right? If you're a designer, your profile should look like that. Your profile should highlight, why that other person should hire you. If I'm a writer, I should actually, in my about section should highlight. If you go to my about section, I have done storytelling there. Okay, I have just not said it, कि मैं ये करती हूँ, but in a very storytelling format, I went by ahead, right? So people complimented for that. My prospects complimented me कि I loved it. You did not even brag. Like, of course, we have to brag, we have to say that, what, mera article yahan par rank kar rahi hai, or but I said it in a very storytelling format. So this is my skill showing from every aspect of my profile, right? So you have to have a very you don't need many followers, you don't need kick-ass engagement, you just need an active profile. You have an active profile, I'll just go with LinkedIn, and then after that start posting there, maybe 4 times a week, maybe 5 times a week, whatever works for you. But inbound पे depend मत करो. starting में मैंने किया, I had the time, I did not know outbound क्या होता है. Okay, so I took the time, and I was very lucky, I would say, because मेरा post viral चला गया. अगर नहीं चला गया तो right, within 3 weeks my post went viral. So I was lucky, right? अगर viral नहीं गया होता तो कितना time लगता, I don't know. So I don't want to give any false hope कि बैठे रहो, प्रोफाइल क्रिएट करके पोस्ट करते रहो कंटेंट. नो, हैव एन एक्टिव प्रोफाइल. योर प्रोफाइल शुड बी एक्टिव, बी actively comment on your community people जिनका नीचा post है. Your skill should be visible, right? How you communicate also matters. So वैसे करो, and outbound भी शुरू कर दो. You can reach out. Even if I talk about LinkedIn, you can just search hashtag content writer. You will find so many people posting there. They are looking for content writers. You can just do this, you can just, if for example, if somebody is looking, for example, I am looking, okay, I have just posted it. So how it look like. So I just saw this, somebody is looking for a content writer. So I would just go to that post and react to that post. I would not comment, react to that post, go to that person's profile, right? Go to that person's profile, and maybe if there is something I can see, something that caught my attention, I'll just see. Or if there are some posts, I'll react to those posts as well. Okay, and then I'll pitch. Okay, and I'll just connection request itself, I'll mention it that, hey, you are looking for I just saw that you are looking for a content writer in this niche. So hey, here is I have worked with this many. You just mention your USPs there, and then just say, can we connect and discuss more about it? Right? You can do this. You can find it even right now. Also, if you go to LinkedIn and search hashtag content writer, hashtag copywriter, something like that, you'll find many people posting there. Right? So you can go ahead and try that way. In fact, if you know that you write in the health and wellness niche, you can just search that or health, or maybe you can find your prospects and go and DM them. Go and take their mail ID, cold mail them, right? So this is something I would have done, to be honest, if I knew what outbound is. At that time, I had no idea. Even inbound was new thing for me. I was like, wow, so many people reaching out to me, what to do. I was saying yes to everyone. सबसे बात करते हैं. So yeah, that's how it is.
Got it. So lead generation, big thing. Marketing yourself. What else goes on during your day?
Yeah, of course. For example, I am not a person जो कि खुद को बहुत ही of course I go by plan, but there would be this कि I would suggest. Right now I'm working with XYZ many clients, right? So it does not mean I'm working with them every day, right? So I have deadlines and everything. So what I do, I make a to-do list, and I know कि आज मेरा इनके साथ meeting है. ठीक है, so I have to update someone कि क्या क्या नहीं है, क्या नहीं, what process. If I'm working on a website project, which is gonna take some time, right? Including, it's a big project maybe. So that's how it works. कि I'm gonna have a meeting with them. I have to work on an invoice maybe, right? Prepare an invoice maybe for my. I have to do it myself, right? And prepare an invoice maybe. Maybe I have to, someday something urgent also comes up. You can't be always like, of course, being flexible also applies to freelancers as well. And this is one, because I am providing a service at the end of the day, and I want that person to have such experience working with me that even if that's a one-time project, that person should have that impact and impression. If someday I'm gonna come back to this person or recommend this person, so that what flexibility comes in. So it's not totally something very every day something new is there for sure. But apart from that, content creation is a part. I will be active on Twitter and LinkedIn. Of course, on LinkedIn, I'll be posting, I'll be commenting. This is something I really like doing. So it's not something I consider work. So apart from that, I'll be, a prospect calls are there. Apart from writing, right? So for example, right now, I can be in talk with 4 prospects, right? I'll be talking, I'll be seeing like what are the things that, works for us. So prospecting is there. Right, some days I have prospects calls, like maybe 5 prospect calls, right, in a day, or 5-6 prospect calls, right? So I qualify them. At beginning I used to like say yes to everything, that just a while I mentioned, right, सबको बात करेंगे, सबसे बात करेंगे, there's so many projects. But no, and now I qualify it like very strongly. I believe that time is money, because and time is money क्यों बोलते हैं, how you utilize it is money, right? And as a freelancer आप time का ना track खो सकते हो बहुत जल्दी. It's a very very मतलब possible to happen. So yeah, prospecting is a very important part. It's going to be there. Content creation is there, and apart from that, of course, if there is something urgent or there is something new that a client wants, something like that, apart from it, yeah, and invoicing and all that are there. And something again, upskilling again, right? I want to mention this, upskilling again, right? And upskilling at the same time polishing your skill. So even if I'm writing for my clients, okay, I am a writer, so I'll talk from that perspective. If you're a designer or whatever core skill you are providing, okay. So I am a writer, so every day I make sure I do free writing, okay. Even if it's for half an hour, even if it's for like 5-6 pages, I am gonna write it, because it helps me sharpen my skill and empty my thoughts. And someday I get such awesome lines and everything, but those I don't post it anywhere. Those purely belongs to me. So that is something I always do, like polishing my skill. At the end, चाहे मैं जितनी strong personal brand कर लूं, चाहे I have lakhs of followers, on social media and many things, but if I'm bad at providing my own skills, if my services, I don't think that, I can sustain in the long run. So yeah, polishing my skills.
Gotcha. That's a really very comprehensive answer. So thanks for sharing that. So Virat asked if you use Fiverr or Upwork to find freelancer work. So you already mentioned that you don't. But what are your thoughts? Like, what does the process look like?
Yeah,
How to freelance through these platforms? If you have any insights on that.
yeah, sure. I can share. So when I started, I did not know LinkedIn क्या होता है and everything. So बहुत time के बाद I discovered. So in the beginning, I search on Twitter, on YouTube and everything. So सब जगह पे Upwork का नाम से freelancer.com, Fiverr also. I did try make a profile there. Upwork में तो कुछ ऊपर से चला गया मेरा, ठीक है, वहां पे तो चलो. हाँ, freelancer.com में I did get replies, 2 replies. I don't know, 1 reply I got, that person profile was not there. मतलब lucky खराब था तब तो मैं बोलूंगी, okay. And second reply I got, it was a very bad, even if you can recall, I just said कि we can start from something, not very much high rate, but you need to know कहाँ पे नहीं करना है. So there was this offer for me which was very I don't want to even talk about it. Very disappointing, very disappointing offer was there. So I did not go ahead with that. Otherwise, if I had, maybe मेरा career वहां से शुरू होता as a freelancer. But वो बहुत ही वैसा type था. तो मैं बोलूँगी कि देखो, it depends on you, but I think you can go ahead and try these platforms. Okay, if people are saying it worked for them, it can be true. If I am saying LinkedIn works for me, it did work for me, right? There are many people who did so much good from Upwork, from freelancer.com, from Fiverr. I know there is this YouTuber I would mention, Khalil, right? He talks about Upwork and how Upwork like his freelancing journey shaped his freelancing journey, right? So try yourself, do not restrict yourself कि किसी ने बोल दिया कि यही है, अगर पूजा ने बोला LinkedIn है या फिर Twitter है तो यही से ही करेंगे. No, I think we should go ahead and check, right? In the beginning it is very important to experiment, so go and check out. I did get replies, right? So I would say that it works. I did not try for too long. I was very impatient. I did not like maybe something, I don't know, yet to figure it out. But I did not know, I did not like something ki itna rush, so many people are bidding for it. You are just not one. And again, I just did not, for some reasons, I did not like it. It is very personal to me. But again, right, if you are comfortable with that, I think you should definitely, experiment. If it does not work, leave it. You are gonna at the end learn from it. So I definitely say I don't agree with this fact कि नहीं try करना चाहिए. Please try करो, खुद देखो क्या काम कर रहा है, नहीं कर रहा है ना, learning मिलेगा. You will learn something at least, and you know why you shouldn't go there, right? Why you shouldn't do something.
No, I know a lot of people who have been able to make great living out of just sticking to platform, but there are people who it absolutely did not work for. So, there's something that I've learned about how marketplaces work. Usually it's that, like you said, there's too many people bidding for the same gig. So the price inherently, it's usually you're competing for the price. Someone who bids the lowest for that amount gets it. But once you get that and you start accumulating testimonials and references from those clients, and when you start getting good reviews on those platforms, that's when your profile starts getting visible. So it's up to you, like, do you want to wait for that long to really get yourself visible? Are you patient enough? Do you want to stick to that platform? And because the other downside for that platform, even if you can make great money out of it, is that you're sort of restricted to that domain. You can't contact your clients directly. You have like sort of messaging restrictions and things like that. So of course, there's pros and cons of every system. If you want to wait to create a personal brand and get inbound leads, that takes too long as well. If you want to figure out the outbound strategy, that's something that you can get started on relatively faster. But again, that's also a lot of work. You reach out to 10 prospects, probably 9 of them will never respond to you. So of course, there's pros and cons of everything. And I think it's just like kind of figuring out the process on what is it that you're okay pursuing for long enough and doing it. Or also maybe trying a mix of everything, right? Try inbound, try outbound, try marketplaces and see where you fit in the best as well. So Amit has a question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it says if you could share about how you moved from 1500 to 2000 words mindset to 20 to 200 words mindset based on the different types of requirement.
Okay, mindset. Is the question is about mindset?
Yeah. How did you shift your mindset?
Yeah, sure. So I would not lie. At the beginning, even I used to feel कि मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि we can charge for something what we are delivering, the value you are delivering, right? So at that point, this new freelancer who just started knew ki acha, jitna words likhne wali hu, I'm gonna get paid that much only, right? So along with, as I started to work, for example, when I did product description, so I just wrote maybe 100 to 200 words. Okay. Oh my God, to write that, I might have taken hours. So much research. So there, if I have written 200 words in the background, I might have written, 2000 words. वहाँ से छोटा करके, मतलब research and वगैरह मिला के you can go. So if you see the effort, I could realize the effort I was putting, right? वो जो जर्नी से मुझे realization हुआ कि by the effort I'm putting to, people can see, for example, for about us, right? I do website content as well. So about us also, there is not many words, right? It's very limited. So I'm just writing an maybe an headline and just a few simple introduction. Just for that, when I did it, when I started to do it, I realized that time I was investing, the kind of research I was doing, research for hours, and rewriting every line so that I get that perfect headline, and everything, perfect introduction, perfect conclusion, and in a crisp manner, right? In a crisp manner, the amount of efforts it was requiring me to do it built my mindset. It was itself sufficient for me to realize ki I am charging very low very low, and this is not the way I'm doing. I was not motivated. I would like to make this confession. I lost my motivation. I used to wake up with a very okay, बहुत energetic पहले कि अच्छा today I'll be writing in this nation that. Then slowly ऐसा हो गया, I used to hate my work. Not hate, यार करना है. No, that was the point of realization for me. ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, right? It's not that writing is something I absolutely hate or something like that. It's not. ऐसा तो सीन नहीं था पहले, right? Why it happened? तो देर के मैं पॉइंट में बहुत डिमोटिवेट हो गई थी, इवन टू कंप्लीट अ पीस ऑफ वर्क टू डू. बट अगेन आई बिलीव कि एथिक्स शुड, मेरे लिए, फॉर मी एथिक्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो आई वुड ऑलवेज डिलीवर माई बेस्ट, नो मैटर इवन इफ इट्स 200 rupees. I would deliver to मतलब up level, like I will give that, okay? But उसी process में ना I used to do this कि खुद को खींचातानी करके करना कि करो यार, बैठ जाओ, कर लो, finish कर लो. So that built my, तभी I got the मतलब very much impression कि नहीं, I'm charging less, and my mindset was built. I was convinced the value I was providing, so I should charge accordingly. Yeah, the experience, I would say, in short, experience.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. We have one more question. That says, for a beginner in freelance content writing, would you recommend niche-based writing or general writing?
Freelance writing?
Yeah. In content writing, basically.
Okay, sure. So there is this two thing that can happen, that you can be somebody who knows from the beginning that, okay, fine, mujhe to health and wellness, I'm crazy for it. I want to learn it and I want to make money from it. Okay, I'm going to monetize. In that case, please go ahead. Do not think so much. You know your niche already. But then again, there are people like me. I'm still a generalist. Okay, I haven't niche down to or totally, because I love a lot of things. मुझे fashion भी पसंद है, मुझे traveling भी पसंद है. Currently I'm working for pre-wedding, wedding section में, right? You can imagine. So I would say कि it's not recommend. If you're starting, if you know from the beginning कि यार यही niche है, okay, this is the niche I want to write, well and good, go ahead. But if you're somebody who are just starting, do not worry about niche. I'm telling you, do not. These are the things can actually pull you back or maybe demotivate you to go ahead and can be a hindrance in your, your way. So I would just say ki worry about niche after a point of time. Maybe you have done freelancing for some time now. Now just think कौन से niche में you enjoyed and you know कि ये niche मेरे लिए है, ये तो बिल्कुल नहीं है. For me, it's technical writing. I just tried once, never again. Never again. Okay. So then again, medical writing. This is something I know कि मेरे लिए नहीं है, and I believe that for medical writing we should have some maybe background. Again, this is not my place to comment. So for me, it's not for me. I know that there are terms and everything which goes above my brain, and it's a very kind of responsibility wala job. when it's come to medical writing. Everything is responsibility wala, but again, it's about health, and people gonna make decisions based on it, right? So you have to figure it out. Again, finance is not for me, right? Again, crypto and all these things, right? I know that ki ye mere liye nahi hai. So I know as a generalist writer, I am generalist, but I know the niches I don't want to write in, or I would not be preferred. I would not prefer to write. But in the beginning, do not worry at all. मतलब ये तो तुम छोड़ ही दो. Just start. Maybe after some time, you can sit with yourself and go back to the past work you have done and see what were those projects which made you feel really good, and also like you are very excited to work in, and the opportunities are there, right? You can't just you have to consider that balance should be there, right? So in the beginning, do not at all worry about it. And even if somebody who knows that okay mujhe fashion mein hi likhna hai, but please try and experiment. Some niches can surprise you. This is for me the wedding wala writing that niche I'm writing and write. It surprised me that I can do so good, and I'm so interested to write in this niche. So that's how it is. And experimentation is the key, man. I mean, that's something I think I would advise anyone. But when you're starting, don't worry too much about niching down. After some point, if you want, definitely there are advantages if you niche down. Particularly, you would have a kick-ass portfolio, right? I mean, for me, I have diverse portfolio, but I know that where to make the balance again, because I have the experience. From my experience I've learned. But if I have been doing in one niche, imagine in 2 years how strong my portfolio would have been. So this is a downside for me again, right? So yeah, these are the things that you have to consider. But in the beginning, I don't think you should be considering this.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you pointed that out in the end. That's one of the cons of not niching down, because you cannot like also increase how much you're getting paid that quickly, because you can't become like very much of an expert in that field. So yeah, again, pros and cons, figure out what works the best for you. So I'll be approaching the end of this conversation. If anyone has any questions, keep them coming in the chat. We'll cover them. If not, I have one last question for you. So if there are any learning resources that particularly helped you out when you were starting with freelancing, it could be anything: books, podcasts, blogs you like to read, newsletters. What are some of those?
Okay, I'm gonna say and share a very underrated technique that I don't think many people do. If you are beginning, this is what I do. Okay, for example, Pragati Gupta, many people know her. So when I found about her, now I went to her profile. Believe karo, I listened to her podcast, the podcast she have done till now. Went to her website, read the articles that she have published. Everything that was on her LinkedIn profile, I have read that, I have known. Okay, bahan se na many of my questions got answered. For example, right now, if you go to my profile, you will find, an article where I have written, how can you become a content writer in India, right? An article where you will find that I have written top 5 basic things that a content writer should know, right, in the beginning. So as resources, you will find to stock those profiles, the top names in the industry. I'm not talking about me, but yeah, the top names in the industry. Go and stock the profile and see go through the podcast they might have done, go through their YouTube video maybe. Right, there is somebody called I absolutely adore her. If you're a writer and you want to start your career or maybe learn, Angangsha, oh my god, she is someone I vouch for. Her writing style blown me, right? So I have stalked her medium. Yeah, Anangsha Anamnyan. Okay, I'll just I'll DM you. Yeah, Anangsha Anamnyan. So yeah. So what happened is this case. What I did, okay, this is the process, very underrated. People don't do it. What I did, I went to her medium, okay. Jitna I could read from her writings, I did. I went to her, LinkedIn profile. Whatever was mentioned, whatever was there, I did. And went to her YouTube channel. I binge watch her videos. Okay, so this is how this is an underrated technique. Why I feel many people come to me asking with very basic questions. Very good. I am very I am eager to help you whenever I have time. But what disappoints me, maybe makes me sad sometimes, that people are not utilizing or doing that effort, or maybe understanding ki go to the profile, even it's in the highlight section. If you go to my profile, you can find these things in the highlight section itself. So if you just go, stalk much, maybe stalk is the right word, but yeah, if you just go through the profile, sometimes spend some time in the profile and check out some things, your most of the basic questions will be answered by then itself. So this is one thing. And apart from that, as I mentioned, Angansha, please, I'm going to write a post very soon about her, so stay tuned to my LinkedIn. So of course, because it is a due, I think I have been thinking to write a very post dedicating to her, because I love her writing style, I love her YouTube videos also. And apart from that, Angansha and Khalil is there, right? Khalilullah Khan, his videos are awesome around freelancing. And apart from that, of course, Pragati Gupta is somebody I absolutely look up to, my inspiration. I love her a lot. And she has been someone who has been with me since the beginning, who has believed in me. So please go to her profile. I mean, you would find treasure, so much knowledge is there. Read the interview she have done, read the article she has covering the basics, these things you can do. Apart from that, I don't do a lot of, this is something I follow. What I feel ki there is a lot of resources in the internet, lot. So do not get lost, whatever. If you are, for example, if you are following Khalil, right? You are watching a Khalil's video on YouTube. So what happens if Khalil is saying something, teaching something, you should go ahead and implement. Okay, go ahead and implement. Don't do this कि next इस पे भी वीडियो देख लेते हैं, उस पे भी कर लेते हैं, ये भी कर लेते हैं, फिर दूसरे का भी देखते हैं, उसमें भी देखते हैं, इसी प्रोसेस में रह जाओगे. Okay, so go ahead, learn one thing at a time from one person, implement. If you have a question, doubt, you can search that again, maybe, and in the process, of course, you will find your favorites as well. Yeah.
Right. No, I love that. Oh, by the way, we had Pragati on our podcast. She's the one who recommended you. And we'll be publishing that podcast soon. So if you want to listen to some of the things that Pragati had to say about freelancing, stay tuned. We'll post that as well.
No,
and we have one question from Yogesh that says, okay, so it's a two-part question. One, for fun, what was your reason to prepare and appear for an SBI PO exam?
Oh my God, you're taking back to memory lane. Yeah, of course. Before becoming a freelancer, I was an aspirant, right? So I was an aspirant जो fail ही कर रहा था 3 साल तक, कुछ success नहीं था. But yeah, I have been somebody जिसको passion था banking में काम करने के लिए. It used to fascinate me from my childhood itself कि wow, bank में काम करना है, manager बनना है, ठीक है? This was there. I can say it loud, okay? So this culture used to attract me a lot. It was a dream from my, can say that when I understood, when I grew up and when with my family members used to go to the banks, and I used to think about it. But then I am from a arts background, so as usual, people told me, "Bacha, this is not for you. This is that. You need to be a commerce background student." So this is the reason it took me so much time to realize this is a field I should try for, and it can be for me, right? Mm-hmm. So after that, I knew कि मुझे करना था यार. I really wanted to try for it, and I really wanted to work in a bank. I don't know why. I still have no answer. I can maybe find out if I would have cleared it. Yeah.
That's cool. So there's a second part question. It says, is it easy to sell a single service or a bundled package? Multiple skills and services together, basically. In your personal experience, what is it? What do you think is easier to sell?
Sell, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, if sometimes it happens that some prospect just get in touch and they just say, "Ki, after my qualifications and everything," sometimes I even go ahead, even if things are not clear. I mean, at the end, it's a learning process, right? So they are not clear what they want. They might want this, they might want that. Okay, so yeah, it's not single service. When you're selling a single service, it's very easy, of course. So when you are saying that multiple things are there, of course, many people might have some pause. But apart from that, what I feel and I have learned from experience is this: if your package and if you can convey the value, communicate the value when you are in the prospect call itself. Okay, if you can communicate the value you're providing, even if you're providing one service or multiple service, there should not should not be an issue, most likely,
Yeah, so communicate the impact you're going to make, what outcomes you're going to
very
bring, and
important.
that matters a lot more. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great note to, end our session today. Really quickly, so the announcement we went in the beginning of the podcast, if you are interested in joining the Freelance 101 cohort to help you launch your freelancing business, it's going to be launching very soon. So Nimi has just shared links in the chat. Make sure you apply. Again, limited seats are applicable. If you are someone who's a student or unable to afford, we have special discount going on as well. So let us know about that. And Puja, do you have any announcements you want to make?
Announcement as not as such, but yeah, I have started my YouTube channel. So yeah, of course, I would be happy if you go ahead, search Puja Das, and maybe you can search F failure and Puja Das. You'll find my YouTube channel. Yeah, that's my first video. So yeah, that's something maybe I would be really happy if you check my YouTube channel. That's it.
Perfect. No, send me over the link. I'll put it in the description of this video as well. So check out Puja's channel, and that's really exciting. So congratulations on launching the channel.
Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for joining in today. It was really fun to chat with you, Puja, and your energy is very contagious. I'm glad you're so excited to talk about everything you wanted to chat about today. I'm sure it was really helpful to everyone else on the call as well. And I'm sure we'll work together at some point in the future. So I hope to stay in touch with you.
Yeah, sure. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk about it. And also, you have also shared some points which are very, 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 should be there and people should know, especially those beginners, who are starting. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Absolutely loved talking and interacting. Thank you.
It was really fun. Thanks so much for taking time, Puja. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.